In today's breaking story, Donald Trump is once again panicking as the Epstein saga gets worse. That's right, Ghislaine Maxwell just dropped a sudden bomb, which only adds fuel to the fire for Donald Trump and his administration. How's it going? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, before we jump into what this massive bomb is, let's first just remember how truly sick and evil this person is. Ghislaine Maxwell is a person that Trump has spoken positively of.
She is a monster. She's worse than Epstein. She did things even worse than Epstein did. She was vicious, she was evil, and she was a woman.
Her lawyers have said Ghislaine Maxwell is not a Jeffrey Epstein, that she has been a victim of media spin.
They're doing their job, but I know that woman. I've known her really well. Put it this way. Epstein was Pinocchio, and she was Geppetto. She was the guy controlling
the strings.
Jeffrey. Yep, she was pulling the strings. She had his money. He had her contacts, but Ghislaine was much more conniving and smart than Epstein ever was.
Now, of course, the conservative switch-up has been absolutely mind-blowing.
What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names.
Everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children.
And it doesn't help that Mike Johnson is once again the biggest coward I've ever seen.
Let me put this to you, Mr. Speaker. Would you support a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted trafficker?
Well, I mean, obviously that's a decision of the president. He said he had not adequately considered that. I won't get in front of him. That's not my lane. My lane is to help direct and control the House of Representatives and to use every tool within our arsenal to get to the truth. I'm going to say this as clearly and plainly and repeatedly as I can over and over. We are for maximum disclosure. We want all transparency. I trust the American people. I and the House Republicans believe that they should have all this information to be able to determine what they will. But we have to protect the innocent. And that's the only safeguard here that we've got to be diligent about, and I'm insistent upon doing so.
Republican Speaker of the House refuses to say whether or not he supports pardoning one of the worst abusers, one of the worst traffickers around right now. That's the headline. Congratulations, Republicans. But now things are getting even worse because Trump is panicking as Ghislaine Maxwell just dropped a sudden bomb. Take a look at today's top story.
You know, on August 1st and beyond. Okay?
Mr. President, was part of the rush to get this deal done to knock the Jeffrey Epstein story out?
Oh, you got to be kidding with that. No, had nothing to do with it. Only you would think that. That had nothing to do with it.
President Donald Trump is already reeling as the Epstein controversy continues to dominate headlines and fracture his support base. But now, things have taken a stunning new turn because Epstein's closest confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell, is directly appealing to Trump himself. Multiple reports confirm what insiders have suspected. For weeks, Trump is in full panic mode. While he's trying to appear composed in public, sources say, behind the scenes, he's furious. According to the Washington Post, Trump is enraged that the Epstein scandal has overshadowed his administration's agenda. The backlash from his own supporters has been far more intense than expected, and even key officials are at each other's throats. Now, as his administration scrambles to change the subject, Trump faces yet another bombshell. Today, Ghislaine Maxwell's legal team formally appealed to President Trump to pardon her. In a newly filed Supreme Court document, her attorney, David Oscar Marcus, argued that Maxwell should never have been prosecuted due to an old non-prosecution deal the government made with Epstein. But the real shock came when Marcus took to social media to invoke Trump directly. He wrote, "President Trump built his legacy in part on the power of a deal, and surely he would agree that when the United States gives its word, it must stand by it." He continued, "We are appealing not only to the Supreme Court, but to the president himself to recognize how profoundly unjust it is to scapegoat Maxwell for Epstein's crimes." In other words, Trump is now being asked to rescue Epstein's partner in trafficking, and this request is happening in the middle of a full-blown political firestorm over his ties to Epstein. With FBI officials still demanding more transparency, DOJ leadership splintering, and even loyal Trump voters voicing outrage, this latest plea from Ghislaine Maxwell could be the final spark that pushes the scandal into full collapse. Trump wanted this story to disappear. Instead, it just got dragged back into the spotlight by one of the most notorious figures in the entire saga. At the end of the day, this is just completely predictable, but the timing couldn't have been more perfect. She literally shows up right as Trump is battling this controversy to ask him for a favor. I mean, come on. It's just poetic justice. And I have a feeling that Trump has a lot more of that to come.